This is Algebra Lesson 4.3. Today we're going to talk about functions. So a function is a relation in which each input, and we're going to use the independent variable x for our inputs, in which each input has one output. So I heard a joke once, and I'm really not good at telling jokes, but the gist of it was, it was something along the lines of if you go to a vending machine and you push the Coke button, you would expect a Coke to come out. And if you push the Pepsi button, you would expect a Pepsi to come out. Well, what happens if you push the root beer button and you get a root beer, but you also get a Sprite? I mean, it's awesome, right? But the vending machine isn't functioning. Each input should give you one output. So if you're getting multiple outputs, then it's not functioning. It's not a function. We have a way to test graphs to see if they're functions using what's called the vertical line test. So if we have a graph, and let's just say here's my graph, any kind of shape I want. If I go to this input, remember my inputs are my x's, if I go to this input and that comes out, there's one answer there. And if I go to this input and that comes out, there's one answer there. So I can test by drawing as many vertical lines as I need to. If all of my vertical lines hit the graph one time, that passes the test. I only want one time. If I have a different graph, and let's just say I have this guy right here, and I can check this input right here, and yeah, that comes out as a single answer, and I can check this input right here, and yeah, that comes out as a single answer. But let's say I check this input right here. There's an answer here, there's an answer here, there's an answer here, there's three outputs there. That is not a function. Each input should have exactly one output. So you can see here, there's one here, there's one here, there's one here. If you have more than one, not a function. So I recommend drawing several lines because, yeah, the first two we checked passed the test, but this guy here failed the test. If you find any vertical line that crosses your graph more than once, not a function. So let's see if we can look at these graphs and determine which are functions and which are not. So again, I'm going to draw a couple vertical lines to check before I make my final decision, but every line hits it once, so yes, this passes the test, it's a function. I got here, we're okay, we're okay, we're okay. Oops, that line hit the graph two times, not a function. And passes the test, yes, a function. This guy right here hits my graph three times, not a function. And the last one always tricks people, but if I draw my vertical line, you know, we're good here, but right here, that actually passes the test. A closed circle means it hits the graph, but an open circle means it misses the graph right there. So yes, this one is a function. Now, if I actually had one of these guys colored in, this vertical line right here would make the test fail, but those are all open, so this one definitely is a function and it passes the vertical line test. Letter B, we're going to look at some tables to see if they're functions. So a graph fails the test when we see x values. Here's an x value with multiple y values. So basically all I have to do is look for repeating x's. If we see repeating x's, we make sure that those repeating x's go to different y's, or go to the same y. If they go to different y's, it's not a function. But I got all my x's here, they're all different. Yes, this one's a function. I see a couple repeating x's here. Let's check, do those match up? No. This one is going to multiple different values, so no, that is not a function. And I don't have any repeating x's here. I do have repeating y's, but that actually doesn't matter. I can have horizontal lines in functions, but I can't have vertical ones. So yes, since I don't have any vertical lines, I only have a horizontal line, that is a function. So that's it for the notes. Good luck on the exercises. A little clue on this first one. try putting this in the question, does each blank have one blank? Does each input have one output? Does each city have one zip code? If you can answer yes, then it's a function. If you can't answer yes, then no, it's not a function.